This is NBC News Digest. Here is Bob Kur, NBC News.
Good evening. A state dinner in Germany tonight ended a day President Reagan was glad to put behind him. In spite of international protests, Mr. Reagan visited a cemetery where Nazi SS troops are buried. Here's Chris Wallace.
The president spent just 8 minutes at Bitburg Cemetery as White House officials tried to limit the political damage. They arranged for American and German World War II generals to join Mr. Reagan and West German Chancellor Kohl. And the president said nothing, participating only in a wreath laying. But in the streets of Bitburg, there was no reconciliation. Later, at a U.S. air base nearby, Mr. Reagan talked about the controversy.
Many of you are worried that reconciliation means forgetting. Well, I promise you, we will never forget.
Tonight, White House officials said he had done much to damp down the Bitburg controversy. Chris Wallace, NBC News, with the president in Germany.
Mr. Reagan tried to cool the controversy by adding a stop at a Nazi death camp, Bergen-Belsen, where he laid a wreath and made an emotional speech. In Europe, Mr. Reagan's been pushing his strategic defense initiative, Star Wars. Today, the Soviet defense minister warned that Star Wars will make arms reduction impossible. Defense contractors bill taxpayers for haircuts and disco dancing. So say congressmen investigating Pentagon billing, who add that government auditors are years behind in trying to review the records. And one cause of obesity among children is television. Harvard researchers report that youngsters 6 to 11 are more likely to be fat if they watch 2 to 5 hours of TV a day. I'm Bob Kur in Washington. More news later on this NBC station.